So today I want to talk to you about 10 things that we retired people don't need to tell other people. We can keep it to ourselves. We don't have to share that. Often the first thing people do when they meet you is they ask you, so what do you do? What do you do? So does that mean they're nosy, or what are they going to do with that information? Are they judging you by your job? If you say you're retired, are they going to say, oh, wow, he's a lazy person, he's retired? So certain things we don't need to really tell them, I don't think. So let's keep some of that stuff a secret. So we got 10 things that we're going to talk about today. I'm Glenn. Welcome to my channel. I'm retired. I'm a life coach, plus I'm a part-time cartoonist. I have a cartoon that's at the end of every episode. So I'd like you to watch till the end so you can see what cartoon I'm putting in there today. Okay, hang around. So let's unpack 10 things I think we should not tell others, things that we should maybe keep to ourselves, okay? So we often tell people far more than what they really need to know and about ourselves, and we don't really need to, we don't need to do that. We can keep a lot of that stuff to ourselves. I'm sure you agree. So here's the 10 things that I came up with that you don't need to tell them. You don't need to tell them how much money you have made over the years. You don't need to tell them a whole lot of details about your job or your investments, that you've invested in this stock market and made all this kind of money. You don't need to tell them that sort of stuff. It's not necessary. That's number one. Number two, your passwords, your bank passwords, your computer passwords. You don't have to share that stuff. It's not really good. It's very insecure. Phone scammers are all over trying to get that sort of stuff out of, especially retired people or seniors. They're trying to get the passwords, or they're trying to get into your computer. So you don't have to share that stuff. Number three, your past mistakes or failures. You don't need to tell people, oh man, I screwed up when I was younger. I got in trouble with the law when I was in my 20s. I lost my license at a certain time. Or I had an addiction, and that sort of stuff. Or I went through a divorce. You don't need to tell people of that. That's none of their business. It's okay to keep that stuff a secret. Keep it to yourself. So don't share your past mistakes and failures. Number four, family issues. How you and your spouse get along, or how you and your kids get along, or if your kids are bad, or they've grown up, or they're in jail, or whatever happens, or that you're fighting with your son, or whatever. People don't need to know that stuff. You don't need to share that unless you're wanting to share that with a counselor or somebody personal, but the average person doesn't need to know that kind of stuff. Same as number five, your political views and how you voted in the election. I think you got to be careful with that. Sometimes we have a tendency to kind of ramble on about our political views and how we take a stand on certain things, and it is good at times to do that, but I don't think we have to tell people so much about that. I think that's a personal thing. Personally, I don't know about you, if that's something that you like to share. I mean, it's up to you, but it's not something that I need to go around blabbing to people. So number six, your fears, your worries about the future, or your worries about retirement. I don't know that you need to ramble on about that. If you're struggling a little bit with your retirement, I don't think that it's necessary for you to say that to people wherever you go. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm not doing really well. I should have stayed working, that sort of stuff. Unless it's something that you're sharing. If it gets to a point where you need to share with a counselor or somebody like that, or your pastor or whatever. But the average person, I don't think that they want to continue to hear that. It gets a little tiring for them after a while if you're always complaining about what retirement has done to you and how you're struggling with it. Number seven, your medical history. I don't think you need to tell people that you had hip replacement, or you're getting laser surgery in your eyes, or you're getting a hair transplant, which is something that I probably could do. But you don't have to tell people that. That's really none of their business. I think sometimes we need to keep some of that stuff to ourselves, and so you don't have to share that with the world. And then number eight, you don't really need to tell people what you think about somebody. They might ask you, well, what do you think about Joe? What do you think about Fred? Or what do you think about what he did? Or man, I can't believe he acted like that, or whatever. If you give them your feedback and your thoughts on that, often they'll take that. Some people will take that and they'll gossip, and they'll spread that around, and they'll say, hey, Glenn said this. You should have heard what he said, what his thoughts were. So I think a lot of times our opinions on certain people, how they live, how they act, I think it's really important for us, no matter whether we're retired or any time in our life. I think it's important for us to keep that stuff kind of to ourselves. Number 9, if you're tired of living in the big house and you want to downsize, you want to go to an apartment or something smaller or a condo, I don't think you need to overly advertise that. Sometimes people might look at that as, oh yeah, you're really getting old and you need to get into something smaller, and what do you got that you can sell? Maybe I can buy something and get a deal from you, so I don't think you need to advertise that so much if you're downsizing or you're moving. And the last one, number 10, you don't want to say how much you hate the gift that person that you're talking to gave you, or you don't want to say how much you disagree with them or you hate being around them. Sometimes that sort of stuff is not timely to share. So certain thoughts, certain opinions, sometimes the best words are no words at all. So that would be number 10. Just keep your comments to yourself, and sometimes just walk away. So that's 1 to 10. I hope you enjoyed that. I wonder what your thoughts are on some of those. So let me know if you've run into any people that like to ask you about any of these personal parts of your life. And if that's something that you've run into and you got some examples that you could share with us, that'd be great for the rest of the viewers to see. So you can put that down in the comments. Plus, we don't need people talking about us and about the information they get from us and about our life, because if they start gossiping and spreading it around, I don't think that's necessary, and that's not something that makes any of us feel good. So if you've gone through any of those 1 to 10 that you've experienced, let us know down in the comments below, and we'd love to be able to discuss that if you got any questions further about that. But either way, make sure you smile at somebody today, and that you watch the cartoon at the end, and that you remember to add your comments and to give us a follow. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. And hey, thanks for watching. This is Glenn. Keep your stick on the ice.